Well, y'all, sometimes, actually a lot of times, I like to sit at a spot and just kind of eyeball it and scope it out and just listen to nature and stuff. Just kill a little time before actually starting to fish. So we're down here at the boat ramp where I caught my biggest yellow bass and probably the most yellow bass I've ever caught in 1 or 2 sessions. And we're going to take what's left of the worms in my tub and 1 or 2 rods, definitely an ultralight, because I want to see if I can catch some of these bluegill that have been pestering me at the end of this boat ramp. And there's a lot of them. But I may drag another rod down just to see if there's anything a little bit bigger messing around. Got about an hour to fish, so let's get rigged up and get down there. Well, the river has definitely come up a little bit higher current. Of course, it did rain pretty much all day yesterday. And one reason why I don't see a lot of people using this boat ramp to launch boats is it's very steep. It's always very slick because of, well, leaves. And this time of year, there's all kinds of, like those big, I guess they're hickory nuts or whatever. Those big green things are falling and making it super slick and dangerous. But there's also a better boat ramp not far away from here. Plus there's a log which goes straight across right down here that kind of blocks the way. Well, maybe it didn't come up as much as I thought it did. Oh, there ain't no telling how long that one's had it. I didn't even feel that one bite. Well, I felt a tick, but I figured if it was a fish. Chill. I figured if it was a fish, it would have been a lot more aggressive, but fun size little bluegill on this rod. Get you back. Now this rod that I'm using is one I used in a recent video. It's a Lose. There I went and called it Lose again. This is the B&M Leland Lures TCB series trout crappie bluegill rod. It's a 6'6" ultralight fast, very parabolic rod. So this thing bends down to about right here. It's that first little eyelet. There's another one. I changed how I rigged my hooks so that it could potentially keep from gut hooking them so much, but little bitty bluegill. But the way I've done it's basically a high-low rig, basically. But basically the way I'm doing it is a Kentucky rig, just putting a split shot below the hook, and the hook's tied directly to the main line, so I'll feel those bites a lot sooner. There's another one. Not real big, but we'll take it. That's what ultralight fishing's for, is making these small fish feel a lot better. That one was just inside the calm pocket right here in front of me, because basically the current seam is right there on the edge of where this down tree is, and they're staying just inside that calm stuff. And there is another tree right here in front of me that I have to watch for, because I have fed quite a few jig heads and other baits to it. And there's another one. So far, no gut hooks. I felt the bite a lot better with the rigged up like this instead of split shot above the hook. Knock on wood, so you know how that goes. I seen one hit the surface about the time that one hit the surface. This one's a little bit nicer. Yeah, it's a little bit nicer. That might be the biggest one so far. He's just, well, you're actually hooked a lot better than I thought. Nice little bluegill. Oh, that's a nice one. Well, it's about average, I guess. You're hooked a little bit deeper, but I do believe I can get that out. I'm just about out of worm. Well, that was a good, fun size little bluegill on this rod. Ooh. That one was all kinds of excited when he hit it. A little fun size one. There we go. Just a, well, I was going to release you a lot more gracefully, but you decided to be a hoodlum. That one was just about too deep to get down or get out. There's another one. That one feels pretty good. And you're not hooked too well. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Stop flopping because I don't want to get pierced. I think that one might be the biggest one so far. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and put a fresh piece of worm on there because that one's just about had it. Gotcha. Oh, darn it, it came off. Dang it. That was a good one too. He got wrapped around that stump down there or something. I was able to get it pulled out. But I put it right on the edge of that current seam and just let it drag it down. And soon enough, it popped it. That one got it, and I just barely felt the bite. That feels pretty dang good. Now that one there is the biggest one of the day. That one's probably about 7 inches or so. On the old night crawler. Tell you what, this has been, there's enough for a video right here. Shoot, I ain't gonna complain. Got him. Dude, these gills feel so good on this rod. Like, it's not my favorite ultralight by any means, but it being so parabolic makes these bluegill this size feel so much bigger than they actually are. Nice one. I just barely did feel that one. It's not real big, but he's all over the place. Scrappy little thing. You know, that's why I will put bluegill on my top 3 favorite species to fish for list every single time. Bluegill, no, well, crappie will be my number 1. Then bluegill, and then catfish. Another one, but this one's tiny. What are you? You're not a bluegill. By any stretch of the imagination, you're hooked in the eye, so I can't count you. You're a log perch. Well, those things are worse than bluegill when it comes to being bait stealers. But they are a dang pretty fish, and that one got my worm, so I might as well get another one. I ain't no telling how long that one's been hooked. I casted it out there just into the current and let it drag it down a little bit. It's a big one. Like that's the biggest one so far. That one's every bit of about an 8.5-inch bluegill, which for, ow, that hurt, which for around here is a substantial bluegill. Ooh, had 2 or 3 real small bites. Missed them, and then that one just decided, you know what, YOLO. Another good sized bluegill. Now that's just a fun sized bluegill all around. Doesn't matter what you're targeting, bait, food, you know, just something to catch. Bluegill are just so fun and underappreciated by so many people. Barely felt that one. Wait a minute, are you something different? Yes, you are. And if it wasn't so late, you can stop because you're sharp too. And if it wasn't so late, I would drag out my catch and cook kit out of the back of my vehicle and fry you up here on the bank real quick. But dang good sized yellow perch. That was probably getting close to 9 or 10 inches, I guess. I take very loose guesstimates on these things. I don't actually measure fish 99% of the time, but yeah, that one's getting close to, I'd say about 9 inches. Squirrels are throwing stuff at me down here, but let's get this one back. You know, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if the random little channel cat would come along and want this little piece of worm. I have had that happen. Well, actually on a Berkeley gulp, chartreuse little 1-inch one in one of my yellow bass videos several months ago. Oh. Gotcha. Mac Daddy freak nasty. Gonna need a bigger boat. Well, something splashed over here and then that one got off. Oh well. I may take a tie on a little bit bigger split shot or add another one of these BB size ones just so that I can reach underneath that tree limb, because I've seen a lot of stuff coming up and pecking the surface. It's just I can't reach them. You know, besides the bridge up there and the occasional car, it is almost dead silent down here on this riverbank. Like, the silence is almost deafening, if it makes any sense. Just listening to the water trickling around the rocks and stumps and stuff along the bank, and crickets and squirrels and stuff. That's a different kind of silence. Is that a fish? But yeah, that's a different kind of silence. It opens your mind and relaxes it and all that good stuff. Gotcha. Man, you a mean little thing. And that explains a lot. Something I ain't caught in a while. It has been a hot minute since I've caught me a red ear sunfish. Like, around here, this is the closest that we've got to pumpkin seed as far as how they look and how they fight. And a lot of people misidentify these, well, shoot, confuse those for pumpkin seeds, which we do have here in Tennessee, just not nearly as many as Michigan does. But yeah, red ear sunfish get confused for pumpkin seed a lot, and for good reason. They do look a lot alike. There's another one, not real big. Dude, chill. I'm gonna let you go. It's another little red ear, little bitty one. And now my sinker and worm and hook are tied up something awful. There we go. I figured there would be one right behind that log. Now, let's see if we can keep it out of it. There we go. There we go. Chill, 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 chill. Little bluegill. Still got a little bit of worm on there. See if we can make it last for another fish or two. Well, I guess today is one of those blessing type days because the last 2 weeks of fishing has been pretty miserable. Catching one or two here and there, and then finally catch a break and get into a mess of them right here. And we've caught, I don't know how many so far. Enough of that, it definitely makes you happier than those skunky type days. Oh, as soon as that one hit the bottom. It's not big whatsoever, but it's a fish and that's all that matters. There we go. Oops. Another one. That one feels a little bit nicer. Yeah, that one definitely is a little bit nicer. Beast. You didn't come off, or at least you hadn't yet. Yeah, you slung most of the worm off, dang it. I mean, there's a little bit left there, but not enough to bother with. There we go. Another little fun size one. And this worm is shot, so we're going to replace it. Gotcha. Now this one feels pretty nice. Because it's another red ear. Red ear usually fight a little bit harder than bluegill unless it's just, you know, a big bluegill, and then it's a little bit more comparable. But red ear, once they get like super big, like around the spawn, they're a whole different world. There's another one. That one feels pretty decent too. Of course, like I said in previous videos, you pair your rod to what you're after, and your fish are going to make the experience, or the rod and the fish are going to make the experience so much better. That's a fun size gill. Tell you what, if a man needed bait for catfish or bass, it'd be set right now. Got it. I don't know how long that one's been hooked. He just kind of sit there with it a little bit. Another gill. Well, unfortunately, that one gutted it. First one that we've had that happen with, and I just about slid down the bank. So I'm gonna have to cut that one loose. He's gutted it. It's too far down. Well, I guess I get to retie again. Alright, we're not going to give it a whole heck of a lot longer because it's darker than it appears to y'all on this screen here. And this camera doesn't pick up light that great. So we'll give it about another 15-20 minutes. And then we'll have to call her quits because it won't be able to... It was about... Dang it, I missed it. Camera won't be able to pick up the light good enough. Yes, it worked. Feels pretty decent. Nice gill. Now this little jig head that I put it on is actually, I think, a 1/20th Z-Man micro finesse head, which is perfect for, you know, jig head crawler type fishing. And these heads are actually really good for the Berkeley gulps. Like the hook's just small enough, and plenty of other baits about the same size work real well on those heads. Ain't no telling how long that one's had it. Didn't even feel it. What is this? It's not fighting like a bluegill or a perch. Not nearly as many head shakes. And don't tell me you got wrapped around a stick or got my hook jabbed into a stick. Nope. It's out. Whatever this is definitely the biggest of the day. No, it is probably the biggest of the day, but he choked that thing. Dadgummit. Maybe I can get it. Big old chunk of a bluegill. I might be able to get that one. There we go. Dang good bluegill. That thing fought much harder. It's up here behind me. Monstrous squirrels. That one definitely fought a lot harder than I was expecting, but he definitely did not bite very hard. It just kind of started easing away. And we're snagged. Well, so much for that one more. And I have got a sweater knitted around the end of my rod from that tangle. So we're going to wrap her up and we'll see you back at the vehicle. Oh, and one more thing. Since I'm not going to be able to fish for the next 5 days, I'll just take the rest of my worms, make some fish happy. And unlike all these other people, put my worm tub in my backpack. That way I'm not adding to the litter problem around here. Well, dang it, y'all. That was a very surprising little bite. Went down here with intention on catching some of these bluegill off this boat ramp with the, I almost said lose. Every single time I pick up that rod, I start calling it lose. Leland Lures TCB rod. If you want to check it out for yourself, there'll be a link in the video description. I think these things run about $65 to $70, depending on where you look. The reel that comes with the rod, well, in the combo, it's not worth it. I would suggest putting a different reel on there. It's nothing wrong with it. It works. It does catch fish, but there are better options out there for about the same price as that reel is by itself. So that one, I just swapped a little Shimano FX 1000 on there. Weighs just a little bit more, but balances that rod very well because it's not too tip heavy, not too butt heavy, which the butt of that rod has a little bit more weight to it because it's a much longer butt section. I think it's around 14 or so inches. But it's a very balanced rod, and it just flat works and feels really good, even with smaller bluegills. And when you tangle into one that's a little bit bigger, definitely worth it. I almost called it lose again. Leland Lures TCB combo is definitely worth checking out. I used it in the previous video, but didn't catch nearly as many fish. That's besides the point. So again, if you want to check it out, the link's in the video description. And if you want to support the channel and like the type of stuff that I'm doing here on YouTube, check out all the other links. They're affiliate links. It helps the channel out, and I greatly appreciate it when people do buy stuff through those links, because like I said a bunch of times before, when you're driving around all over the place trying to find a spot and find fish, you're burning a lot of gas. So anyway, hope you like the video. We'll see you in the next one.